Wait. I don't want
So,
to move forward. I want to pause here because this is
huh,
something very similar to what I go through. Sometimes you go beyond the call of duty also. Sometimes you really go out and do something extraordinary within a limited time frame. And then they say the client has changed the brief or something else, and there is always time. So
yeah,
that's a industry problem, I think. Also, second
uh-huh.
thing, what I liked
Mhm.
about what you said so far, I'm sorry for interrupting you, but you cover a lot of ground. I want to bring in the values that you're covering because those are so beautiful. So one point that came up to me was when you said that you put your discipline forward and you're talking to somebody who's a bigger entity than you are in the market, they still respect it and they come back with a solution. So what I realized was discipline leads to clarity not only for yourself, it also leads to clarity for the other person. Okay, when I'm dealing with ABC, Vishal in this case, this is what I will get. This is the time frame. This is the kind of money, and these are the problems and problems. Obviously, every individual will bring with him or her their own set of problems.
True.
So discipline could be one set of problems. Like I was talking to somebody in an earlier podcast. I was listening to Rahman's interview with Arijit Singh or something, 1.5 hour.
Uh-huh.
So he talks about working in the night, and that's the time that he's most comfortable in.
Mhm.
Well, it works for him because sometimes you may want to sacrifice your needs, saying that I want to work only with Rahman because of the certain kind of work that he gives me. So those things
Mhm.
you change your discipline to adapt for a higher cause.
True, very true.
I
Or
think
sometimes, yeah, and sometimes even in my position, sometimes if I look at my team, and these are like 20, like how I was when at 24, 25 years old, and how these guys are at this age. Now I'm 35. I'm getting becoming 35 this April 15th.
hmm,
So what I see is if I look at the situation where the teamwork is going smooth and they are actually getting more inspiration towards late night work, then it's the किसका पलड़ा कितना भारी है. Even though I'm leading the project, I look at these guys, they get more inspired to work in the late night till 2 a.m. So I tell these guys to get full sleep in the afternoon or evening and then work in the evening time. My only concern is that your body shouldn't get destroyed. And sometimes I do change rules because in the end, साथ में एक साथ काम करना है काफी टाइम. So sometimes it works that way also. It's not that I have to. So now this is where my discipline is is changing slowly for a certain period of time, depending on the moment. This is what improvisation is again. I just improvise it. So instead of late night work को completely ignore करने से अच्छा है, we can ignore working in the afternoon, get full proper sleep so that we can work in the day. So sometimes it works. It's not like always. But
yeah,
if you ask me if I'm working on some project just me like alone, then I strictly follow it. Like this is completely
yeah.
like no late night work.
Okay. Now I want to get into something that you had spoken about earlier, which
Mm-hmm.
was that within our minds, say this discipline of I'll give you another example. There is this friend of mine who has a certain way that he is looking for a job or business. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and he has certain expectations from the client. He's so stuck on it
Mm-hmm.
that he's not been doing well for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
So when this becomes a burden, how does one know what is discipline and what is being obstinate? Is there a difference? And how do you know that it is right or wrong?
Yeah, I well, different people have different perspective on this. Uh, I'll tell you my story. Is basically 2012, 2013, not 2013, 2014 was a year where I had literally no work. Like Prashant helped me a lot financially and some close friends. They helped me a lot. They didn't also help me financially. And I'm so glad to have these kind of friends who, instead of me totally getting drowned into the situation, help me on my tough time. Right. So that is the first thing I would say. But yeah, what you're saying is very important. I think the most important thing over here is to understand that whenever you start working on something, you always need to have a plan B. If you're disciplined, that is fine. Again, discipline says if I have to work out on something, I have to finish, I have to get up to that level by within 2 years or 3 years. And this is why I'm following this discipline and routine. Again, the discipline, the other guy, there is the good role of being a controller. Whether the controller says that, yes, that's nice, but what if it doesn't work? That puts you in a doubt. Yeah, what if? And that's not a negative thought. The controller would say, make a backup plan. Like what? Split your daytime. How? Get some other job from only like from morning 9 to 3 or something. Okay, what about social life? You have to you have to be prepared. There are some costs that you have to pay. Okay, then get a job that helps you financially until the time you really get something moving. Okay, what do I have to do after that? You just have to prioritize things. There's no time to hang out and stuff. You may not have time to smoke a cigarette. Okay, are you ready for that? Then the perfectionist will tell you this is the best way to figure this out. Why? Because if the finances are sought, your aim, goal is safe. Let's fucking do. So this, like I said, these are like three different demons: discipline, perfectionist, and the controller. So in this case, what happens? We go through a lot of tough situations. I also till date, especially whatever happened in 2020, this whole lockdown thing, it pretty much changed the entire industry. Everything has changed now. Everything is quite fragile, to be very honest. I've been telling this to all the juniors who been asking me, contacting me, asking that should I take music full time and should I do this and that? Should I come, approaching myself as a music composer for film? So I've been telling them this from the end of since the December of 2020 that the situation is like this. Try to understand. If you are trying to get work, if you're getting full time into music or filmmaking, first of all, apart from your own dreams, look at the surroundings. Don't take any pointers, any suggestions from people. Just look at your surroundings. Observe people silently. People who've been doing this like you from the past 2, 3 years. People who have succeeded, how? People who have failed, how? Observe them, take a note, and then compare it with your present time right now, whatever is happening in the industry, whatever happening in your surroundings. That vibe, that intuition of yours, you should always believe in it. It will give you some hint whether you should go for it or not. If you feel it like, yeah, I should not do this at all. If that intuition, if that hint you're getting over and over again, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, then it's better you should not do it. You should wait for the time. But if you're getting constant hints from your intuitions that no, you should do it, कभी कभी क्या होता है पागलपन की हद तक जाके भी काम करना पड़ता है सिर्फ इतना ख्याल रखना पड़ता है कि तुम्हारे परिवार वाले तुम्हारे सपनों के लिए उनको ना झेलनी पड़े this is the only reason why we think about the finances. To be very frank, to talk about much more realistic thing, for an artist, for a creative person, we can actually survive on minimalistic cost. I'm telling you, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
कम से कम चीज पे हम लोग जिंदा रह सकते हैं. What we could not suffer is, what we cannot see is, for our dreams, our family members are suffering. That's the only reason we talk about the money matter. Because I have my mother,
Yes, I want to again make you pause. You
huh.
cover too much good ground in too little time. I have to make you pause. So I quickly want to make our audience aware of the goodness of what you are covering. One part that touched me greatly was that when you use your discipline like a tool rather than being ruled by it, which is what came to me from when you said that you use it, otherwise find a day job, have a plan B, do something that keeps your dream alive. And then again, I like the fact that you didn't leave it there. You said, what then? So, what then is prioritize. So, by prioritize,
True.
I want to explain here, and please correct me if I'm wrong. By prioritize, you mean don't let go of the dream completely. Don't get so involved with the making of money that you forget that you had an original dream elsewhere.
True. True.
So keep that alive, keep working on that hobby, that attempt, going to production houses, meeting people, doing those things. But at the end of the day, your family will be okay that you're paying the light bills and food bills, and or if nothing else, worst case scenario, you're taking care of your own needs.
Yeah.
You're not a burden on the family. So this is one
True.
part I would want to cover in case some outrageously creative people are watching this. It's a wonderful thing. Uh, at this juncture, I want to ask you one specific question, Vishal.
Yeah.
Um, there are some people who are genuinely um maniacally creative. They are like really too good, but they are very impractical because the burst of creative energy that they have within them. Uh,
Tell me about it. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, you were one when I knew you many years back, and yet I'm rephrasing the question because of also one thing that you said in the end. This part is one part where you think you're like a deadly creative, and the world is waiting to discover your genius at one point of time, and you're working, working, working. You had covered this in your last answer where you said you should know after 2 3 years when to stop, get to
True.
get to something, which is okay. Sometimes it may happen or it may not. My question to you: why shouldn't we see life also as a disciplinary teacher? So if it is wanting you not to succeed for a while, be it luck, be it God, be it whatever, it doesn't matter what the reason is. The fact of the matter is that I've been trying to be a like when I tried to be a film writer, I was partnering with Naren, and I was going for meetings, and I spent quite a few years. Now the decision was between the successful advertising writer that I was making good money, and I had projects, but the dedication to learn a new field, which was new for me in terms of writing feature films, full length films. I spent a lot of time, and over a period, I realized that I did not have the same fire that Naren had. I would not let go of my sleep. I would not let go of my money. I would not let go of my uh, whatever little joys that I wanted. Whereas he was willing to put in the hard work, the dedication, the effort required to become a success
Mhm.
in his chosen endeavor. And today he is successful. There's no question about the fact that he's doing very well. But from my perspective, I don't have any qualms about it. I am very happy doing what I am doing.
Just true. That's the most important thing.